Good afternoon, vinyl community. North Carolina vinyl picker here on a Saturday. I have some pickups to show you. Then I'm going to run through my Fast 50 today of all my record collection. We're closing in on the L's, so we're heading towards Led Zeppelin here, and we want to get this done, and so we can put this behind us, and then we can move on to other things. So starting off, I want to thank all my new subscribers. I'm up to 360. I appreciate every last one of you. And if you like what you see, hit the bell, and that way you'll know when a new show will be coming up for the North Carolina Vinyl Picker. And I was out today over there in Marion, and found a new little honey hole over there, but the place is closing up. I might have got there too late. So, yeah, but I did stop at Nebo, and, yeah, we've got some other, I took some video. I'm going to try to get that put online here, show you the little record place I was at in the antique mall. But let's go through these real quick on these pickups I found. And this one here, I had actually come in the mail. I'm gonna start taking these out of the plastic. Show you, and this one here is Clannad, the band Clannad, and the album is called Sirius. And it's a great album. Moya Brennan and all her brothers and their uncles make up this band, and they sometimes I sing in Gaelic on their older stuff, and this one here is an 80s release, and it's just tremendous. I think it'd be better if I see the plastic. See, I'm thinking it'd be better off if I show you. This one here I got from Rob the Wax. And on his live sale. Yeah, this is Dire Straits and Love Over Gold. Haven't given this a spin yet, but I'm looking forward to it. I got after. Brothers in Arms. I didn't really hear much of Dire Straits, and there were a couple albums afterwards, but I'm liking what I hear so far. I've heard some of these songs on the radio, of course. Then I got this one in the mail. Got a good price on this one. This is, of course, Mike Oldfield. This is another album to fill for my Mike Oldfield collection. I really enjoy Mike Oldfield. I like him a lot. And I have Crises and some other Tubular Bells and whatnot, and Almadon, but I didn't have 5 Miles Out. So I used to have this on cassette, and I used to listen to this quite a bit. So this is an album I wanted to get in my collection, and I've been waiting for a good price on that one. This one here, I'll leave this one in. It looks pretty good. I got this one from Patrick, the vinyl archivist, on the sale that they had. Him and Rob had a sale last weekend, and I got this album, Sid Barrett. This is just Barrett, and it has David Gilmour on here, and it also had Richard Wright on here. It's only missing Roger Waters and Nick Mason. It would be a Pink Floyd album, but yeah. I'm looking forward to this. I like all of Sid Barrett's stuff. And I found this one, Madman Across the Water. I found these in a little record store down in Gastonia, North Carolina, called Spookies. It's a great little record store. It's in Bessemer City. So if you get a chance, get down there and see Spooky. He's got a great little store. I think he's closed during the first part of the week, but he's open like from Friday, Saturday, Sunday. He's open. He's got a nice little store. I want to get back down there and go do some more hunting, some more record hunting down there. I'm looking forward to giving this a listen. I always like the early Elton John. I found this one there as well, Procol Harum, their first album with the Whiter Shade of Pale. Didn't have this one. I'm still missing about 3 of their records. The one, if you find this one in pink, it's an Italian, I believe. That's the one to find. That's the one that Mazzy was showing. I've never even seen one in the wild. I found this one there for I think it was less than $5. Steve Hackett, Highly Strung. Um, Great album. I like all his records. This is about the time that I saw Steve Hackett solo. I saw him with Genesis in the Wind and Weathering tour, but after he went solo, I think this was around the time I saw him at Toad's Place in Connecticut. It's a great show. Bird's Fifth Dimension. Found this one there as well, and this one has Mr. Spaceman on here, and 8 Miles High. This is the one that I was told, Mazzy said this was his favorite, so he kind of leads me in this wormhole, this direction. I kind of follow. He's an influencer for sure. The Notorious Byrds Brothers, another great Byrds album. Found this one there. These were all under $5 a piece, so if you can get down there to Spookies, get down there and see them if you live in the North Carolina area. I did pretty good this week. I found quite a bit of stuff. What you're listening to, I got this one in the mail, and this is an album by a band called Ragnarok. I don't know if anybody is familiar with them, but they made 3 albums early on in the late 70s, early 80s, I believe. This one here was from 79, I think. Just a great band. I think these guys are from Sweden. There's a couple different Ragnarok bands, but this is the one I like, and I like all 3 of their albums. Their 3rd album is called Fata Morgana. If you can pick these up, they're just stellar albums. This one I got from the Rob from the Wax, and he gave me a really good deal on this one. I'm not sure if this is not in his wheelhouse of listening to music. That Phil Manzanera is on this from 801, and he's all over this. And then he's got his band on here, and this is a little short-lived group that they had called Quiet Sun. Who's on this album? You say? Well, I'm going to tell you. There's Eno is on this album, and Charles Hayward, Dave Jarrett, Bill McCormick. I think Bill McCormick was in King Crimson at one point, and Phil Manzanera is on here, and Phil plays the 6 and 12 string guitar. And this is a short-lived group called Quiet Sun, and Rob found this one somewhere in California. I've never seen this album in the wild. I have several of Phil Manzanera's solo albums, and they're all great. So if you can find his albums, pick them up. They're just incredible. Speaking of incredible, how about Mr. Bill Connors? Bill Connors is a guitar player, and this album here, I themed to the Guardian. I think this is on the ECM. I found this one here in Nebo today for $2, and this is on the ECM. I have most of Bill Connors' records. I think I've already showed them when I was going through the B's. Normally he has his jazz outfit. Bill Connors was in, I don't know if he was in Weather Report or Return to Forever or Mahavishnu, or he was in one of those bands back in the day. And this album was recorded live in '74 in Soho, or Oslo, sorry. So yeah, this is going to be a good album. I'm looking forward to giving this a spin. And then today I found this, and I love Graham Parsons, and it's another one that Mazzy got me into, listening to Graham Parsons. This was his first band, the International Submarine Band. This was Graham Parsons' first group. And this album here, it says on here that this is a repress from Rhino, but I've never seen the actual first album, this album here, the OG, but I've never seen it on Rhino either, so this is the first time I saw it. And I saw it, and I think I got a good price on it, so I'll have to look it up when I get a chance in Discogs. But this is called the International Submarine Band. The album's called Safe at Home, and it has Graham Parsons on here. And I don't have a picture on here of Graham to show you, the late great Graham Parsons, first band as far as I know. Then I was stoked to find this one. I found this one for $5 in an antique mall over in Marion. And then when I went to Nebo, she had it there for $2. So I said, damn, I could have saved $3. But this is people probably bypass this all day long, but this was Keith Emerson's first band, the Nice. Keith's on this, of course, along with Mr. Jackson, Mr. Lee Jackson, and Mr. Davidson. And then side one is how America. They start off with America on here, and then they do the second side two is the long suite they do. Aris Longa Vita Brevis, suite movement, 4 movements on that, and a coda. And then Keith Emerson on here, the late Keith Emerson said, yesterday I met someone who changed my life. Today we put down a sound that made our aim accurate. Tomorrow is yesterday's history, and art will still be there even if life terminates. Keith Emerson wrote that. So there you go. This is an album I didn't have of theirs. I'm looking forward to hearing this. I like that band a lot. I think I mentioned that The Nice was one of the first records I ever owned. It's a fold-out album, Keith Emerson and The Nice, and we haven't gotten to the JKLM. No, we haven't gotten to the K's yet. Stephen Stills, number 2. I was glad to find this album. A really good copy of it. I've been looking for a good copy, and this one here, that's for sure. It's a nice copy of this record, and this is his second solo album. And it looks like it was a cutout. I don't know if it was a promo or what. It doesn't look to be a promo. We'll find out when I look it up in Discogs. But it has changing partners on here and other stuff. So yeah, looking forward to giving this a spin. I have his Manassas albums. I have, of course, his Crosby, Stills, and Nash outfit albums. And then I also have his first solo album. So now I'll probably have to find the rest of them. He's probably got 3 or 4 more. But I'll see what I like. I know I'm going to like this one because I used to have this back in the day. I had this one and that. And then I had found one more record here. So I did pretty good this week. I did a lot better than I thought I was going to do. How about Jan Ackerman? Jan Ackerman was in Focus, I believe, and this is another one of his solo albums. This is with, it's called Tabernacle. I've seen that one there laying there, and it said $3 on it. It's got the really nice cover on here. And it's got Jan on here with a girl on here. So yeah, I'm looking forward to listening to this because I have quite a few of his albums, and no one's gonna pick this up because most people don't have any idea who Jan Ackerman is. Here's a great album here. I was going through my records the other day and I'd seen this one. So I'm saying I want to give this one a listen. I haven't heard this in a long time. This is the Mike Bloomfield, Al Cooper, Steve Stills. We were just talking about the Super Session. This is a great, incredible album. If you get a chance, you can give that a listen. That'll blow your mind, that one. Okay, looks like we're time to do the Fresh 50. So let's work on these. And then we'll have that done for the day. We're up. Not having much luck here. I guess I ought to take the plastic off the covers before we start the video. That might be a better idea. But anyway, let's start with the J's, and we're working with the songwriter Justin Hayward. And this is on the Durham, London. And this is another one of those ones where I have 2 copies. Well, because this is on the Durham. It's a different pressing of the album. So I decided to keep both of them. And this was Justin Hayward's first solo album. After the Blue Jays, he did a Blue Jays album with John Lodge. And then they went ahead and he did his solo album, The Songwriter. And this is a great song. I love Nostradamus on here. And One Lonely Room, Tightrope, The Songwriter, Sweet, Country Girl. It's just a great album. If you love Justin Hayward, these are a must album. This one here as well, Night Flight. This was his second solo album. This is about the same time he was doing the War of the Worlds soundtrack. And then we're going to switch right into K's. So we're starting with Kansas and the K's. This is Kansas' first album. And I seen Kansas on this tour right here, on the Mask tour. This is their second album, I believe. I need to get some more Kansas in my collection because I have Left Overture. have Point of No Return. You can usually pick these up for like $5. But I think I'm still missing one of their early ones. Let me know in the comments down below which one I'm missing. Oh, then we're going to go to Miss Kate Bush. And this is her EMI America release of this. Now I want to get the one where she's showing her profile, and that's a Canadian press. Hang on just one second. I wanted to start that again. Get a sip of water. Kind of stuffy here today. Excuse me. Here's the Kick Inside, her first album. This is on the silver vinyl. This is a Japanese pressing, I believe. Or it could be UK. I think it is well, we want to make sure and get this right. This is a Holland press. Alright, well that makes sense. But it has like a Japanese cover to it. But this is that's a Holland pressing of the Kick Inside. The one I want to get is the Canadian Kick Inside. So if anybody out there has a copy, let me know. How about Lionheart, her second album? And this one here is manufactured in the UK. Fame. This is another one of those records where I have another copy. And this is the EMI Harvest label. This is Never Forever, her third album. This is also on EMI. And this here is the mini LP from Babushka. It sat in your lap. And here's my favorite Kate Bush album, her fourth album, The Dreaming. It's also Mazzy's favorite, a lot of people's favorite. And then we have the Hounds of Love, and this is the album people are looking to get right now because it has Running Up That Hill. This is the marble version, and this one here is really sought after. I was able to get a copy of this because the cover was all messed up. It has somebody's initials on it. It's still in the partially it's in the shrink, and it has a hype sticker and stuff. But I've been getting rid of a lot of my plastic shrink on a lot of my records. I've been saving the hype stickers though. Yeah. And then here's the remaster of this, Hounds of Love, which is a lot of people say that's her best album, but The Dreaming is my favorite. And then we have Running Up That Hill, the 12-inch. You just don't see her records out in the wild very much. Here's another copy I found. Some artists, if I see it, I'm keeping the doubles of. And some artists, I'm not. And then that's what's going in for the sale. The whole story. They made a VHS of this, a DVD. It showcases all her best songs, or her greatest hits, basically. This is her greatest hits album. And then she came out with The Sensual World. Picked this up at a record show in Charlotte. And I got it home and there was a skip in it. So we'll see now that I have a different turntable if it still skips. And then we have The Sensual World 12-inch. Then we have Sister Kate, James Taylor's sister. One of her solo albums. I'm not sure how many she made. I'll have to give this a listen. This is on a Cotillion, the Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Pete Sinfield label. That's an album I'm looking for too. Pete Sinfield album called Still. Okay, then we're moving right into Kayak. and I have a couple of their albums. Starlight Dancer is this album. Found this at a flea market. It had $1 on it. It had shrink on it. I got rid of the shrink. Periscope Life. Kayak. I want to get Royal Red Bouncer. That's the one I want to get. I'll find it eventually. Well, now we're going to move into Kazumi Watanabe, and this is The Spice of Life. And this album has Jeff Berlin and Bill Bruford on it. This is some whacked out prog jazz fusion right here. This album, and then the next album I'm going to show you. These are two must albums to have if you're into jazz fusion. Because Kazumi Watanabe, and this one has Bill Bruford on it as well as Jeff Berlin. Those were a couple of grails for me that I found. I had to get them off of eBay. Then we got this album called The Keats, since we're in the K's. And this has Pete Bardens on it, the keyboard player from Camel, plus some other people that played with Alan Parsons. Matter of fact, Alan Parsons is credited as producing this album, and it also has Ian Barnston, Stuart Elliott, and Colin Blunstone on here from the Animals. Oh, here we go. There's that album I was talking to you about, Keith Emerson and the Nice. This was one of the first albums I ever owned when I was a kid. This is like high school, pre-high school. So this is not the original. This is not that copy, of course, but it is a copy of it, a double album. Then we have Kenny Rogers in the first edition. This is a really good album. It has Ruby, Don't Take Your Guns to Town. I like old Kenny Rogers when he was with his band. Looks then we're going to move right into Con Space Shanty with Dave Stewart on here. Dave Stewart's on here. This is supposed to have been the second album that was going to be done with our Zatchel, which Dave Stewart was on here with Steve Hillage, and they were both in the band our Zatchel, and then they were supposed to do a second album, and it didn't materialize. And then he did this album. Steve Hillage did this album with Dave Stewart, and this is some incredible space rock or prog rock, jazz fusion, all the above. Not an easy album to find. This one here I also had to get on eBay. So yeah, that one there is not. That's a recent acquisition. I haven't had that album very long. This video is going a little bit long today because of my new releases, the new vinyl finds. King Crimson and Court of the Crimson King. This is the Stephen Wilson remix, and this is King Crimson's first album. Everybody knows that album. And I have Lizard, King Crimson. Since we're moving through the K's, aren't we? We might get to the L's today. And we have In the Wake of Poseidon. My favorite albums by King Crimson are the early ones. But that goes for a lot of bands. For a lot of people, probably. You know, they're all analog. I went there, didn't I? How about Lark's Tongue and Aspect? I still have to get Starless and Bible Black. That one's on my list to get. This one here is a beat-up cover. This made, when I did my poll for the best, most tore-up record covers that I own, this one came out to be #1. See? This one I got at a little store in Florida, a record store in St. Augustine, and it is roached. But the record is it was beautiful. The record was beautiful, and he had $5 on it. How could I turn it down? How could I leave it there? I don't know. I could not leave. I couldn't leave the album there. I didn't have the vinyl. Of course, I have the CD, and the digital CD. I went there again, didn't I? But I wanted to get the analog, the Kinks' Greatest Hits. thanks to Mazzy, I went down this rabbit hole as well. He's like I'm telling you, he's an influencer, people. You watch his shows, he will lead you down the right path. Oh man, Kit Watkins. This is a great album. And Kit Watkins is the keyboard player from Happy the Man. And also, Kit Watkins played on Camel's album, I Can See Your House From Here, after Pete Barden's left the band. Yeah. This is a great album. This is Kit Watkins' first solo album, Labyrinth. And then he did Frames of Mind. This is his second solo album. One of these records, I think it was Labyrinth, was supposed to have been the Happy the Man's third album, but they broke up. They lost their contract with Arista, and that's life. He did an album with Coco Russell from Happy the Man. Kit Watkins did. This is a good album too. Right now we're listening to Ragnarok. We only got a few left to go today. I know, hanging in there. So it's going to be going 30 minutes, looks like. This is Kitaro, The Silk Road. Kitaro is a kind of like Vangelis, or it's like a new age keyboard style music. John Anderson has played with Kitaro a few times. Of course he has. Then we have Oasis, Kitaro, Oasis, and this album is kind of ate up too a little bit. But a lot of times you find them and the record looks good. Here's the best of Kitaro. He's a really good artist. If you haven't listened to Kitaro, I think he's Japanese. And then we have one of Rachel's favorite, Clat 2. This is a Canadian band, and when they came out, someone was saying this was the Beatles. This came out in '76, so it would have been, 6 years after the Beatles broke up. But this is really good. It has calling occupants of interplanetary craft. 7 minutes. It comes in at 7 minutes and 14 seconds. And if you listen to the Carpenter's version of it, it's trippy. I need to find that too. Find out what Carpenter's album that is on. Larry Coryell. This album is called Lady Coryell, Vanguard Apostle. And I passed up on an album today. I should have picked it up. I'm going to be going back to Nebo, so there's another album there with Larry Coryell and John McLaughlin and Billy Cobham on drums. Oh, I should have picked that up. I kind of left it there. How about Larry Coryell and Steve Kahn, Two for the Road? I like Larry Coryell a lot. He played with John McLaughlin, and he played with Al Di Meola. Played with all of them. This is the 11th House featuring Larry Coryell, and the album is called Aspects. This is an incredible album. All these Larry Coryell albums are great. You see what kind of niche I'm into. Coryell moves on, back together again. I saw a copy of this today at Nebo for $3. This is an incredible album. Anything that has Alphonse Mouzon on it, the drummer, I mean, that's like Billy Cobham on crack. Alphonse Mouzon is just incredible. The late Alphonse Mouzon, he has passed away as well. Lake 2, this is a good band. I don't have Lake 1, but this one here I got in a little record store there in Valdez. He's got a great little store too. Got the timestamp on there. What do you have time to listen to all these art? You don't have all time to listen to them. So are they is it more of a collection, more than a listening experience? I try to listen to as many as I can, but there's only so many hours in the day and so many weeks and days in the week, and I have other interests. So this is Led Zeppelin II, and this is one of those ones that they say are El Stinko, that Jimmy Page this is one of those remasters that he did. He remastered all of the whole collection. I'm not sure what that year was. That it was like 5 years ago or so that he remastered it. But I wanted a copy. I want an RL copy, so that's on my list as well. But finding one in the wild. I've been looking for years and still haven't found one. I keep looking. Every time I see a Led Zeppelin II, I look to see if there's RL in the dead wax, but of course there's not. And I don't want to pay $150 for one. How about Led Zeppelin II? This is a Russian copy. I found these two Russian albums up in New Jersey when I was up there last September, and this one here is pretty cool. And I think I paid $20 a piece for these. I got this one and one other one. Not this one. This is Led Zeppelin IV. This is just a generic copy of Led Zeppelin IV. And then here's the other Russian. And I think these were. They got it marked down here as Led Zeppelin V, but it's Houses of the Holy. So there you go. And of course, it's on that Russian label. So there you go. There's a Fast 50, and not only did I do the Fast 50, you saw all my pickups for today, for the week. So thanks for hanging in there this long. 30 minutes is a long time to hang in there with the vinyl picker. I plan on getting out some more. I want to get to Taylorsville next week. That's my goal. If I can get over to Taylorsville next week, there are some records over there I want to look at. And I don't think I have much coming in the mail. I do have a CD coming in the mail that I'm looking forward to getting. It's a Yes CD. I want to see if it's the one that that I'm thinking it is. And if it is, it's going to be a grail that I found for cheap. But I think it was wrote in eBay. I think the guy put in there the wrong CD. But we'll see. We'll see if it's the right one, or if you see it, maybe it's. Hopefully, it's not another copy of one I already have. And if it is, then I'll put it in my sale for the fall sale. But that's all I got for today. 32 minutes 20 seconds. Y'all be good out there. Sub up Stoner. He's been a little bit down. People are not watching his videos. He's been showing some DVDs. So whatever people show, just appreciate what they have. Sometimes people don't have a bunch of records to show that particular week, so they'll show DVDs or some Blu-rays if they got them. If that's all he has, that's all he has, and he wants to show them off, so he's proud of them. So, sub him up, and Stoner Stash Box, I'll give him a special shout out. And you see, Harry's got a girlfriend now. Me and my wife sent Stoner a girlfriend for Harry. Her name is Mary, and she was a mail order bride. So if you get a chance, he'll show you. Just ask, and he'll show you Mary. She's sitting right behind him, right next to her husband. So y'all be good out there. Take care, and God bless our troops. And we'll be seeing you tomorrow night. We do a fresh 50, and I can't believe we're up to 2 weeks already. 14. This is day 14 of our going through my record collection. Incredible. This is 2 weeks straight. This is the labor of love. It's been a little difficult at some times too. So we got to charge on. We probably have another 2 weeks to go. We're about halfway through the collection. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the next 2 weeks. So take care. I will talk to you soon. Bye for now.